Amaku Tawazani Emakosini. Thank you for joining me for another video. It's raining, so I will try to speak audibly. Sorry, English. I'll try to raise my voice so that I am more audible. So, okay. Let me start here. 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. So try the spirits, okay, if they be of God. So in this video, this will be a part 1, and the next video will be a part 2. I will be discussing the excuse me. I'll be discussing the spirits of the two kingdoms that we have. Okay, the spirits of light and the spirits of darkness. This is how I am taught, okay? So please be open-minded. All right. So let's read Luke 17, chapter 20, 22. Luke 17, verse 20 to 21. All right. It reads as follows. Once, on being asked by the Pharisees when the kingdom of God would come, Jesus replied, "The coming of the kingdom of God is not something that can be observed, nor will people say, 'Here it is,' or 'There it is,' because the kingdom of God is in your midst." That is the New International Version, and I chose that version on purpose because the others they say is in you, but technically what I'm going to be teaching is the kingdom in our midst. Okay. So we're starting with the kingdom of light. In Genesis chapter 1, okay, let's quickly go there. Genesis chapter 1, we read verse 3 and 4, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light, and it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. Okay, so the light is good, and everything then that is created in the light is good. Okay. The lesser is part of the greater. Yeah, the lesser is blessed of the greater. Yes. Anyway, so this is where the dimensions of light and darkness are separated or are made, or there is made a distinction for the mere fact that God said, "Let there be light," and light is good. Okay, so there's a distinction. Makosi already there. These light and darkness, like I said in another video, in a previous video, I said it's an actual thing. You see, if light is matter, then darkness is antimatter. It's a dimension. It's a kingdom. Okay. Okay. So we are talking about the spirits of the kingdom of light. Okay. So we have the creator. Okay. I will refer to him as umenzi wezinto zonke, the creator of all things. Okay. Let us read Nehemiah chapter 9. Yes. Chapter 9. Yes. chapter 9, verse 6. This is who I'm referring to. Thou, even thou art Lord alone, or Master alone. Thou hast made heaven, the heaven of heavens and all their host, the earth and all things that are therein, the seas and all that is therein. Thou preservest them all, and the host of heaven worshipeth thee. Okay, so the creator of all things, all right? Then he's the first spirit that we are dealing with. The second group is the seven spirits of God. I will do a video on the seven spirits of God and their names, I think, because here in the south we would refer to them as Izithunya Zakamenzi. Izithunya. Gosh, my eyes are so bad. Sorry. Izithunya Zakamenzi. And we can read about them. Revelation chapter 5, verse 6. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the four beasts, and in the midst of the elders stood a lamb, as it had been slain, having 7 horns, 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent forth into all the earth. The 7 spirits of God sent forth into all the earth. Okay. Sorry, I had a little bit of a disturbance I had to get to anyway. Third group would be, I will refer to them, okay, as the way I'm taught, the spirits of creation, okay. In Luke chapter, the verse that we read in the previous video, Luke chapter 1, verse 17, it says, he will go forth, or he will go before him in the spirit and the power of Elijah. Okay, so the spirit is the spirit of man, and then the power is what I am actually referring to now. All right, the spirits of creation, that power of Elijah, meaning the same power, okay, that Elijah had, he will also possess that power, just as his ancestor. Okay. But we'll get to those. I will explain also that in an upcoming video. All right. So Genesis chapter 1. Spirits of creation. I am referring to verse 9. No. Yeah, verse 11. Genesis 1, verse 11. And God said, let the earth bring forth. So he asked the earth to be birth, birth. So that is a creation of itself. Okay, so there are spirits of the earth. There are spirits of the waters, okay? Because verse 20 reads and says, and God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly. Let the waters give birth, okay? Creation spirits, all right? So spirits of the water, spirits of the earth. So that's what I'm referring to. But we'll get to that also in upcoming videos. I'll be able to delve in deeper. So fourth group, we have spiritual guardians at holy sites, mountains, and water bodies, okay, where they are assigned a form of mission, that they must accomplish at that time or at that certain place. Okay, chances are where there is a reserve, okay, that is a holy site, and that might there will lie a holy, yes, a spiritual guardian, Makosi, guarding that area. Okay, this is also another problem of these reserves that pop up, J, or that we have today. Anyway, so let's look at that. John chapter 5, verse 4. Okay, John chapter 5, verse 4. For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. Whosoever then first, after the troubling of the water, stepped in was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. Okay, so that was a guardian, all right? This one was like sent from time to time, but nonetheless, same job. Like there's places that are holy when we go to do cleansings or waters, help to facilitate also the work and guard the area from yeah. Anyway, so the fifth group, okay, and the last group, we'll start first because there's two subgroups. Okay, so I need to first explain now. Ancestors. Okay. So I'm actually going to read Hebrews chapter 1, verse 14 first. It says, they are not all ministering spirits sent forth to minister for them. Wait, sorry. Are they not all ministering spirits sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation? Okay. So he's talking about angels. Angels are ministering spirits. Okay. And a spirit is the spirit of a man, not of anything J and J and J. It's the spirit of the man. Hence, it's your ancestor. Okay. Of course. From verse 7 it says, and of the angels he saith, who maketh his angels spirits and his ministers a flame of fire. Okay, hence, sorry, that was you. Hence God is the Father of lights, because number one, he maketh his angels spirits. Okay, so spirits are angels and they minister, okay, to those who are heirs of salvation. They are flames of fire. Okay, so therefore they are spirits of light. God is a God of lights. All right. So Proverbs 20. Proverbs 20. Okay, yeah. Proverbs 20, verse 27. The spirit of man is the candle of the Lord, searching all the inward parts of the belly. So the spirit of the man is the candle of the Lord. The spirit of man is that fire, is the flame. You understand? He maketh his spirits, angels, ministers, angels of fire. Ministers, what? Flames of fire. Yes. So basically those are ancestors. Okay. Proverbs. Okay, so let's look at the first subgroup. We will have when Jesus was going to Lazarus and he was speaking to his disciples, and he said, Lazarus sleeps, you see. So we would refer to them as abalele, those who are asleep, those who are asleep. Ne? Amatong, okay, because primarily they would visit you when you are sleeping, okay. But they also have a commission of protecting and guiding us, okay. So let's read Psalm 91. From verse 11. For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in thy hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Okay, so he maketh his ministers, you know, those ones, the spirits, those ones who protect you and they guide you towards fulfilling your God-given purpose. Okay. So second subgroup are the what I refer to as the activated ancestors, amadlos. Okay. So these ancestors are ancestors who were likewise gifted in their lifetime and have come back to continue their work through a chosen vessel, which is a descendant. So this will require a process of rebirth or activation in Dwaso in order to begin working, like Luke chapter 1, verse 17. Okay, so let's start at Luke chapter 9, 30 verse 30 to 31. And behold, they talked with him 2 men, which were Moses and Elijah, who appeared in glory and spake of his decease, which he should accomplish at Jerusalem. So he was speaking with his ancestors about his God-given purpose that he is to do in Jerusalem. And so that's also the work of ancestors, because he is a sangoma, he is in the office of a prophet. Okay, so they would basically help you in your work. Okay, but we'll get, not to be too complicated. Let's read Joshua 49. Verse 9 to 15. Okay, so we're reading from verse 9. This is the story of Joseph. I did touch on it in a previous video, but just gonna go over it very quickly. Before he could ascend to the throne, he had to, there was a law in Egypt that said that you had to know all 70 languages, okay, of the earth at that time. You couldn't be under Pharaoh or hold a high position or even be Pharaoh if you couldn't speak all 70 languages. So in order for Joseph to ascend, okay, this is what happened, because he didn't know the languages, all right? He didn't know the languages, but he had to ascend because Joseph is a prophet. Makosi. And Joseph is very special, but we'll get there. I'll speak about Joseph. So this is what happened. Verse 13, and on that, okay, I'm going to skip, I said 9, but I'll read from verse 13 because I already gave an intro. And on that night, the Lord sent one of his ministering angels. I just spoke about ancestors being ministering spirits, okay? Because the spirit is the spirit of a man. It's not like a spirit of something, like, no, like it's the spirit of a man. Sent one of his ministering angels, and he came into the land of Egypt okay, sorry, let me read 13 again. And on that night, the Lord sent one of his ministering angels, and he came into the land of Egypt unto Joseph. And the angel of the Lord stood over Joseph, and behold, Joseph was lying in the bed at night in his master's house in the dungeon, for his master had put him back in the dungeon on account of his wife. And the angel roused him from his sleep, okay? And Joseph rose up and stood upon his legs, and behold, the angel of the Lord was standing opposite to him. And the angel of the Lord spake with Joseph, and he taught him all the languages of man in that night. And he called his name Joseph, something like that. And the angel of the Lord went from him, and Joseph returned and lay upon his bed. And Joseph was astonished at the vision which he saw. Okay, so this is Joseph, what had happened to him in order for him to rise. He had to have a divine visitation from Ildozi that would be able to shed that knowledge and train him, okay, for his position that he would also take up. So those are the groups as I am taught. I hope it's enlightening, and I hope you learn something. In the next video, I will be discussing the spirits of the darkness, the kingdom of darkness. As I had said, test the spirits if they be of God. Okay, so Togozani, I hope this was enlightening, and I hope you stay blessed. Emakosi.